क्रियाशयस्त्वच्चरणारविन्दयोः आविष्टचेता न भवाय कल्पते
Yes,
शृण्वन् गृणन् संस्मरयं सचिन्तयन् नामानि रूपाणि च मङ्गलानि ते क्रियाशयस्त्वच्चरणारविन्दयोः आविष्टचेता न भवाय कल्पते शृण्वन् गृणन् संस्मरयं सचिन्तयन् नामानि रूपाणि च मङ्गलानि ते क्रियाशयस्त्वच्चरणारविन्दयोः आविष्टचेतन भवाय कल्पते शृण्वन् गृणन् संस्मरयं सचिन्तयन् नामानि रूपाणि च मङ्गलानि ते क्रियाशयस्त्वच्चरणारविन्दयोः आविष्टचेता न भवाय कल्पते
शृण्वन् गृणन् संस्मरयं सचिन्तयन्
नामानि रूपाणि च मङ्गलानि ते क्रियाशयस्त्वच्चरणारविन्दयोः आविष्टचेता न भवाय कल्पते
Shrinvan, constantly hearing about the Lord. Shrinan, chanting or reciting the holy name of the Lord and his activities. Samsmarayan, remembering, constantly thinking of Lord's lotus feet and his form. Cha and Chintayan, contemplating the transcendental activities of the Lord. Namani is transcendental names. Rupani is transcendental forms. Cha also Mangalani, which are all transcendental and therefore auspicious. Te of your Lordship, Kriyasu, in being engaged in the devotional service. Here, he who, Twaccharavindayo, at your lotus feet, Avishta the devotee who is completely absorbed in such activities. No, not Bhavaya, for the material platform. Kalpate is fit. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Even while engaged in various activities, devotees whose minds are completely absorbed by the lotus feet and who constantly hear, chant, contemplate and cause others to remember your transcendental names and forms are always on the transcendental platform, and thus they can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But how Bhakti Yoga can be practiced is explained in these words. Srila Rupa Goswami has said that anyone who has dedicated his life to the service of the Lord, Iha Yasya Hari Dase, by his activities, his mind, and his words, karmana manasa gira, means stay in any condition of life, mithilashu evasthasu, and yet is no longer actually conditioned but is liberated, jivan muktas uchyate. Even though such as a devotee is in a material body, he has nothing to do with this body, for he is transcendently situated. Even though such a devotee is in a material body, he has nothing to do with this body, for he is transcendently situated. Narayana paraha sarve napatasyan vibriti. Because the devotee is engaged in transcendental activities, he is not afraid of being materially embodied. Illustrating this liberated position, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prayed, Mama Janmani Janmaneshware Avatar Bhakti Rahituki Tvai. All I want is your causeless devotional service in my life, birth after birth. Even if a devotee, by the supreme will of the Lord, takes birth in this material world, he continues his devotional service. When King Bharata made a mistake and in the next life became a deer, his devotional service did not stop. Although some slight chastisement was given to him because of his negligence. Narada says that even if one falls down from the platform of devotional service, he is not lost. Whereas non-devotees are lost entirely because they are not engaged in service. Bhagavad Gita 9:14 therefore recommends one always engage at least in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Satatam kirtayanto mam yadantascha dridvrataha masyantascha bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Always chanting by glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, the great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. One should not give up the process of devotional service which is performed in 9 different ways. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, etc. The most important process is hearing Shravanam from the Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, the spiritual master, saintly acharyas and the Vedic literature. Sadhu Shastra Guru Vakya Chitte Vikariya Ekya. We should not hear the commentary and explanation of non-devotees, for this is strictly forbidden by Sanatana Goswami, who quotes from the Padma Puran. O Vishnu Bhupod Girinam Putam Harikathamritam Shriman Shravanam Naiva Kartavyam Sarkochishtam Yathaprayaha. We should strictly follow this instruction and never try to hear from Mayavadis, impersonalists, voidists, politicians or so-called scholars. Strictly avoiding such inauspicious association, we should simply hear from pure devotees. Sri Rupa Goswami therefore recommends Shri Guru Padashraya, one must take shelter in the lotus feet of pure devotee who can be one's Guru. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advises that a Guru is one who strictly follows the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. Yare dekhe tare kaha Krishna Upadesh. A juggler, a magician or one who speaks nonsense as an academic career is not a Guru. Rather, a Guru is one who presents the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's instruction as it is. Shravanam is very important. One must hear from the Vaishnava, Sadhu, Guru and Shastra. The word kriyasu, meaning by manual labor or by work, is important in this verse. One should engage in practical service to the Lord. In Krishna consciousness movement, all our activities are concentrated upon distributing Krishna literature. This is very important. One may approach any person and induce him to read Krishna literature so that in the future he may become a devotee. Such activities are recommended in this verse. Kriyashu yattat charanarvindeo. Such activities will always remind the devotee of the Lord's lotus feet. By fully concentrating on distributing books for Krishna, one is fully absorbed in Krishna. This is Samadhi. Om Jnanadimindasya Gyanandjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Sadhitam Jena Bhutale Sarvapakadhamanyam Dadati Sarvadantikam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Vinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prachayane Nirvishesha Chundavadi Kashyapya Deshatarine Pancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhu Mevacha Ridanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, this is a very beautiful verse. The prayer by the Devatas to Lord Krishna, who is in the womb of Devaki. And they are describing this process where Prabhupada says how Bhakti Yoga can be practiced is explained in this verse. So Bhakti Yoga in a nutshell is being elaborated or explained in this particular verse. So these activities recommended here, Shrinvan Granam Samsparens Chintayan. One should hear, Granam means Gananti, author word is used in Srimad Bhagavatam, Shrimanti Gayanti, Gananti Sadhava. Granam means to accept, imbibe, and then if one does that, one will naturally chant the glories of the Lord. Like if you hear something and really accept it, we always speak about it to others. There is something very amazing, this is beneficial. So therefore, we hear the activities of the Lord, value them, accept them in our life, and the word Granam is translated here, that when we repeat those to others, glorify, chant. In this way, when we hear and chant those activities, or the holy name of the Lord, or His qualities, description of His form, then we can also remember Him, samsmarayam. So this follows in the sequence. This is same as Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaran. Shravan Graham Samsmarayam. So Chintayam. Navani Rupani Chamangalanite. And the next verse describes active samadhi. Prabhupada says how Kriyasu Yattat Charanar Vandeyo. How one can always think of the Lord's feet of the Lord, samadhi, kriyasu, one does practical service. And Prabhupada here gives example of service of book distribution. When one distributes books, active service, then one is in samadhi. So kriyasu yattat charanar vandevar. Avishta cheta is basically one mind is absorbed in samadhi, or here Prabhupada describes active samadhi. Na bhavaya kalpate. One who performs Bhakti Yoga in this way, by revering, glorifying, remembering, and serving, na bhavaya kalpate. That person is not on a material platform. Or, this point is elaborated in another place, na bhavaya kalpate would mean that a devotee will not feel the pangs of material existence. This is there in another place described, Navindan Bhavavedanam. Avishta Cheta means when we have absorption in hearing, chanting and glorifying the Lord, then we do not feel the pangs of material existence. That means material existence is there, miseries are there, but it does not weigh heavy on us. That is the meaning. So as our absorption in hearing, chanting, glorifying and serving the Lord increases, we will not feel the weight of this material existence, we will not feel the weight of the problems. Now, problems are there for everyone, but everyone feels a different weight. They weigh differently on everyone, just like there is an object. Object is kind of a mass. But the pull, gravitational pull is different, therefore the weight is different in different places. So, when we rise up, as we know, when we go up, there is gravity becomes lesser and lesser. Therefore the same mass kind of floats, you don't feel the weight of it. So, as our consciousness rises higher, we do not feel the weight of the difficulties and the problems. Although they remain. It's like sometimes there is too much heat over here. We all stay over here. Once some guest came over here when the room was not air conditioned. They had booking for 3 days. And when they came here, they suddenly found this very hot. And they said, we need AC. No AC over here, But rooms will be slightly cooler. We have natural mud bricks. They tried the room, but it was still very hot. Within 3 hours they left. They had booked for 3 days, but within 3 hours they left because it was intolerable. Because, as I said again, the heat is there, but it weighs differently. Giving example of a small problem, it weighs differently on different people. Same thing, same problem. There are people who don't even realize that there is too much heat. They become used to it. Also, they are working, some person is doing gardening, right, and so on. They don't even think about it. Avishta chetana bhavaya kalpate. One material example. Mind is absorbed in doing one activity or something, and we don't bother ourselves. So this material world, which is inherently a place of difficulties, tribulations, how much it weighs. If it is weighing too much, we should understand what is the solution at least. We want to reduce the weight of the problems. Then absorb the mind in what the Devata recommend over here. Shriman Grihan Samsmarya Sachintayan Namani Rupani Chamangalamite. So Avishta Cheta, that is the actual solution. Absorb it in mind, and then you don't mind the ongoing difficulty and so on and so forth. So I thought, now this verse also talks of Charnad Vindayor. In Bhagavatam, the lotus feet of the Lord are glorified repeatedly. I thought I'll collect verses about glorifying the lotus feet of the Lord and present 8 qualities of Lord's lotus feet. Janmashtami is coming. But when I started finding the verses, there were unlimited verses glorifying the Lord's lotus feet. 8 number is too small. There's so many aspects, so many glories of the Lord's lotus feet, so many descriptions of the Lord's lotus feet. So 8 number became too small. So, but still I wanted to restrict it to 8 because Janmashtami is coming. So I'll very briefly touch upon this. This is a very wide subject matter. Every canto, every chapter practically has description of the lotus feet of the Lord. So, lotus itself is a symbol of auspiciousness, beauty, fortune, great wealth, and so on and so forth. When the lotus is described. And the Lord's feet are compared to lotus. So, we will discuss in next half an hour the 8 qualities of the Lord's lotus feet. So that's how we can remember. We all take darshan of the deities and we are supposed to start at the Lord's lotus feet. Bhagavatam constantly encourages us to think of the Lord's lotus feet, to meditate on the Lord's lotus feet, to worship the Lord's lotus feet. So therefore, understanding what are the qualities when we talk of the Lord's lotus feet, what are the qualities, how we are benefited. So this may help us to meditate or think of the Lord's lotus feet with increasing devotion. So the first quality of the Lord's lotus feet is auspicious. They are supremely auspicious. We can recite the verse. I'm going to put the verse number. Vismritihi Krishna Padar Vindayo. So we thought we'll recite some verses also from Bhagavatam. Vismritihi. I'll tell the verse number, then we will recite that. This is 12-12-55, I guess. Yes, 12-12-55. You can open the verse. So, chapter 12th canto In 12th canto, the 12th chapter is about summary of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the teachings of Bhagavatam are being summarized in the 12th chapter of the 12th canto. And this verse appears toward the end of that summary. So this is like a very important verse summarizing the teaching of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. The background font is not appearing in this. Anyway, so you'll be able to still follow. Avismriti Krishna Padarvindayo Shinoti Bhadrani Chashankanoti Satvasya Shuddham Paramatma Bhaktim Jnanam Cha Vijnana Viraga Yuktam. So we are focusing on the auspiciousness, how the Lord's lotus feet are supremely auspicious. So this verse describes Avismriti Krishna Padarvindayor. Again the lotus feet, Padarvindayor, one who always remembers the Lord's lotus feet, Avismriti. Shinoti Bhadrani Shamtanoti. Bhadrani means that is inauspicious. So whatever is inauspicious, that is destroyed, and highest auspiciousness, Sham, highest auspiciousness is bestowed by the remembrance of the Lord's lotus feet. Bhaktivinoda Thakur described in Bhajan Tika Bhojino Prabhu, he says, he glorified the lotus feet of the Lord. Ekana Bhojino Prabhu Tomara Charan. He says, Jepad lagiya Rama Takasya Karila Jepad paiya Shiva Shivatva Nabhina. I missed the meter. Anyway, so Jepad lagiya Rama Tapasya Karila. So God has the fortune to attain the Lord's lotus feet. She performed tapasya. And Jepada Paya Shiva, Shivatva Labhila. Lord Shiva, who is also described as auspicious, Shiva means auspicious. Where does he get his auspiciousness from? From the lotus feet of the Lord. So Lord Shiva, he constantly holds the lotus feet of the Lord on his head. How? In the form of Mother Ganga. Right? Because Mother Ganga emanates from the lotus feet of the Lord. Therefore another name of Mother Ganga is Vishnupadi. Vishnupadi, which emanates from Lord Vishnu's lotus feet. So Lord Shiva is holding the Lord's lotus feet on his head always, and therefore he gets his auspiciousness from there. So therefore Lord's lotus feet are supremely auspicious, and they are the source of all auspiciousness. In fact, Lord Shiva, he desired to be a hill in Vraja, and therefore is present as Nandishwar. What is the main reason? So that he can get the touch of the Lord's lotus feet on his head constantly. Therefore he stands as Nandishwar hill, to get the touch of Krishna, Gopal and all the powerful powers. And he considered it to be his great wealth, supremely auspicious. In fact, when Mother Yashoda told Lord Shiva, in the whole pastime, how he goes to see Bal Gopal and Mother Yashoda doesn't show, and then Krishna starts crying. Then Lord Shiva was called back, and Krishna started smiling and playing. So Mother Yashoda told Lord Shiva, you Baba, you stay here. You don't go anywhere. He said, on one condition I will stay. What is that? Morning when you bathe your lala, give that Chanamrit to me daily. Right? So on that condition. So Mother Yashoda said, what will you do with that? The second condition is don't ask any questions. Just give that Chanamrit to me daily. So therefore, Lord Shiva, he constantly holds the lotus feet of the Lord, whether in the form of a hill, or Mother Ganga, or Krishna's Chanamrit daily in Nanda Bhavan. Even till today, they bathe Krishna Balram, the pujaris, and take the Chanamrit to Nandishwar. That Chanamrit is sent to Nandishwar even today, because Mother Yashoda promised. So in this way, Lord Lotus feet represents all auspiciousness and the source of supreme auspiciousness for all. Following in the footsteps of his father, Lord Ganesha also removes all obstacles, all inauspiciousness. Again, how? Lord Brahma informs, he also clasps hold of lotus feet of Lord Govinda with his trunk, and there he gets the power. Jatpada Pallav Yugam Vinidhaya Kumbha Tunde Pranama Samaye Saganagi Raja Vignan Vihantu Manamasya Jagatrayasya Govindavadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So therefore, all auspiciousness emanate from the Lord's lotus feet. That is the first quality of the Lord's lotus feet. Second, the Lord's lotus feet are compared to a boat, a suitable boat. And again, Bhagavatam verse, this is verse 10-14. Somehow I do not write the verse number. Samashritaye padapallava plavam. Are you able to open? Samashritaye padapallava plavam. Okay. Samashrita 10-14. Yeah. 58. 10-14-58. You can repeat behind me. Samashritaye padapallava plavam.
Samashritaye padapallava plavam.
Mahatpadam punyayasho murare.
Mahatpadam punyayasho murare.
Bhavam buddhirvatsapadam param padam.
Bhavam buddhirvatsapadam param padam.
Padam padam yad vipadam natesham.
Param padam yad vipadam natesham.
So Samashrita, the word plavam means boat. So the lotus feet of the Lord are compared to a suitable boat. And one who boards the boat, one easily crosses over the samsara, mahatpadam punyesho murare. So this Bhavam Buddhir, which is like an ocean, one easily crosses over this ocean. How easy? The easiness is described that just like one crosses a small puddle of water. One doesn't have to be expert in long jump to cross over a puddle of water. It doesn't have to be athlete or practice. One doesn't think over. One can easily step over the puddle of water. Similarly, when one takes shelter of this boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, then one can easily cross over this Bhavam Buddhi, which otherwise Yen Anjasulpanam Uru Vesanam Bhavabdhim. Dhruv Maharaj described, this is very vast, full of danger, shocks, and we are actually chained. We are chained. So our condition is, we are bound with chain. This ocean is vast, unlimited, full of many dangers, high waves. And there is no way that we can ever cross over this ocean. But taking shelter of the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, we can easily cross over this ocean. And all other shelter, Bhagavatam describes to be like a stone boat. So, other than the lotus feet of the Lord, if you take any other shelter, any other process, any other material process, that is like boating a stone boat. Vritrasura has described this Vritrasura has described another analogy. But the stone boat is described by Indra. So, one who takes shelter of false gurus or any other material process, they board a stone boat. And Prabhupada says, one who boards a boat made of stone is doomed. So stone board may be very good, you can stand and take a selfie and post it, but if you board, especially in the ocean, it's not going to take you, rather you are going to drown. So, another example compared to Bhagavatam is taking shelter of any other people who are not taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, material gurus and so on. It is like crossing the ocean, catching the tail of a dog. An example given by Vritrasura. So langulen aditarti sindhum. So taking shelter of false gurus is like catching hold of the dog's tail. And Prabhupada says the dog may swim for certain yards, but it cannot take you across the ocean. One cannot cross the ocean by catching of hold of dog's tail. So the only suitable boat to cross the ocean of samsara is to take shelter of the board of the lotus feet of the Lord. The third description of the Lord's lotus feet is that it is a beverage. Beverage. What kind of beverage? It is sweet, intoxicating beverage. Sweet, intoxicating, nectarian beverage. So the sages of Naimisharanya describe that in 1.18.12. 1.18.12 they describe the Lord Lotus feet as a sweet, intoxicating beverage. Karmanyasmin anashvase dhum dhum pratmanam bhavan appayati govinda padapadmasavam madhu. So they are saying that we have begun this process of a great sacrifice, 1,000 year long sacrifice, karmanne asmin anashvase. But we are not assured of the result. But what is assured? One thing is assured, that our face and our lungs are getting black. Dhum dhum ratmanam bhavan. That is for sure. But what will be the result? That is not sure. But you have suddenly come and made us drink the sweet padapadmasavam madhu. Asava is, it has the alcohol content, asava, Ayurvedic preparation. It's the intoxicating feature. So this sweet, intoxicating beverage of the Lord's lotus feet, you have come and suddenly served us this sweet, intoxicating beverage. Okay? We have started our Shravana Yajna, process of hearing, and we are getting the result at its very outset, from the very beginning. So this is a very important feature of bhakti investment. We will try to just do a small comparison. You make any investment and usually you get returns after some time, or returns at maturity. But return of bhakti investment start at the very beginning of the investment. In fact, Bhagavatam says, even before you make the investment, when you desire to do the investment, the return begins. Can you imagine? If you just tell that I want to do a fixed deposit in the bank for 10 lakh rupees, bank says there is the first interest. Even before you deposit it, that is Bhagavatam investment, bhakti investment. Because Bhagavatam says, Hriday Sadhya Varuddhate Artha Kripibhi Shushruvi Tashana. As soon as one desires to hear, hearing hasn't begun yet. As soon as one desires to hear, Lord's lotus feet are established in the heart. One start getting return. So therefore, bhakti returns begin even before the process starts, or even before we make any investment, the returns start. That is something very unique feature of devotional service. So therefore it says that you have just come and we are already seeing the result. We are already drinking the nectar of the Lord lotus feet in the form of hearing his pastimes. So Prabhupada described how this, there is another verse, therefore there the verse describes the saffron pada kanahanila, the saffron mercy particles. So just like a lotus filament, you see there are saffron particles in the lotus filament. You can see the saffron particle, take a fresh flower of, what is this white flower we have here, we offer to the Lord? Lily. Lily. You can see the saffron particles in lily also, the filament. Just touch the filament, take a fresh lily and you will see the saffron particles. So the saffron particles, Prabhupada says, are the saffron mercy particles. And they are available, they are strewn. When the devotees of the Lord, who always think of the Lord lotus feet, when they glorify him, those saffron mercy particles are distributed. And then they intoxicate everyone else. So in this way, they say, Pada Padmasvam Madhu. We are tasting this sweet nectarian beverage. That is the third quality of the Lord's lotus feet. They are an amazing intoxicating beverage. The fourth quality is the Lord's lotus feet are the highest benediction. Highest benediction. We will recite the verse 4:936. Navai Mukundasya Padar Vindayo. This is verse by Dhruva Maharaj. In the section of Dhruva Maharaj. The verse is spoken by Maitreya Rishi to Vidura in connection with the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj. 4:936. Navai Mukundasya Padar Vindayo. Rajodushasta Bhavaktrishajana Vanchanti Taddasamritirthamatmano Yadrichaya Labdhamana Samriddhaya. What is this? This verse describes, I'll read the translation. My Lord, O Supreme Lord, you are the supreme personified form of all benediction. Therefore, one who abides in your devotional service with no other desire, for one who abides in your devotional service with no other desire, worshipping your lotus feet is better than becoming king and lording it over a kingdom. This is the benediction of worshipping your lotus feet. Ignorant devotees like me, you are causelessly merciful maintainer. No, sorry, I actually have read the wrong translation. Sorry, I read the wrong previous verse. Previous to verse 4:917. But anyway, I'll now read from here. You must be confused here what I'm reading. My dear Vidura, persons like you, Nave Mukundasya Padar Vindayo, who are pure devotees of the lotus feet of Mukunda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can offer liberation, who are always attached to the honey of his lotus feet, are always satisfied in serving at the lotus feet of the Lord. In any condition of life, such persons remain satisfied and they never ask the Lord for material prosperity. So in this context, first Dhruva Maharaj described that, my Lord, your lotus feet are the highest benediction. Satya Shishohi Bhagavam Pada Padmam. So your lotus feet are the highest benediction. Therefore, the pure devotees, they worship your lotus feet only to serve you. And they do not desire anything else. Now there is a very important point over here. This is the highest benediction. Now Dhruva desired the kingdom greater than his great-grandfather. And the Lord fulfilled that desire. And He also gave him the Vaikuntha. He also gave him pure devotional service. So He said, now you have desired, rule for 36,000 years, unrivaled. There will be no elections. And no one will be able to dislodge you from your position. You will be the supreme king for 36,000 years. You rule and enjoy the material opulence. And then you will come back to Vaikuntha. Prabhu Loka is Vaikuntha. Lord created a Vaikuntha for him, then you will reside in Vaikuntha. The Lord gave him the highest material benediction and the highest spiritual benediction. Someone say, apan ko yahi mangta. We want benediction like Dhruva. But what is the Dhruva Maharaj's attitude after receiving the benediction? He was dissatisfied at heart. He said, oh, why did I worship the Lord lotus feet for material benediction? So what we think is a win-win situation, Dhruva Maharaj says, I lost the greatest opportunity. Lord would have taken me if I had worshipped his lotus feet only to serve him. He came. He would have taken me along with him. I offered him a prayer, Bhakti Muhu Prabhatam Toi Me Prasango, which he did not consider seriously. He said, oh, you wanted the kingdom greater than your great-grandfather? Here rule for 30,000 years. And then you will come to me. So my real prayer will be answered after 36,000 years. I have postponed tasting the nectar and serving him constantly for 36,000 years. Such a fool I am. Such a fool I am. Therefore, if you worship the Lord for material benediction, Lord may fulfill it. But then we have postponed the real thing for lifetimes. No. So therefore, Maitreya Rishi is saying, so if Dhruv Maharaj says, now the Lord has left me to be rotten in the material world for 33,000 years because of my previous material desire. Therefore he laments. So what we think is a win-win situation is actually a loss-win situation. He lost for a long time. Ultimately he will win because of the mercy of the Lord, but it's a big loss simultaneously. Therefore, Maitreya Rishi concludes, he says, now my dear Vidura, persons like you never worship him for any material benediction. And that is the highest intelligence. That is the supreme benediction, and that is the highest wealth. One will very easily get the highest wealth, this sweet, intoxicating nectar of the Lord Lotus feet, personal association, opportunity to personally serve him, which is of any true value. Only true value is the pure devotional service, which we can either quickly get or we can postpone by our material desire. So one who has come to Krishna's lotus feet, he will become perfect. But then how long it will take, that depends upon how fast we can become free from material desires. So therefore, Dhruv Maharaj considered him to be a loser in this game. But of course, he will ultimately win because the Lord he has taken to devotional service. So anyone who takes to devotional service, ultimately the Lord will bring that person to his lotus feet. But it would be long inning, that we may suffer a lot doing that also. We commit offences and so on and so forth. We may prolong it and suffer unnecessarily. That's what Dhruv Maharaj considered. Therefore, very important teaching is Vanchanti tad dasyamriti artham atmano. One should not desire anything except service to Lord Lotus feet, and that is the highest aspiration, and that is the highest benediction in this material world. So just one desires service to Lord Lotus feet, which is the highest form of benediction. That's the fourth quality. The fifth quality of the Lord's lotus feet is that they are the desire tree. And like we have his own desire tree. The lotus feet of the Lord are a desire tree. This is described in 11.533, verse 11.533. Deyam sada paribhavakhanamabhishtadoham Tirthaspadam shivavirinchalatam sharanyam Vrityartinam pranatapalabhavabdipotam Vande Mahapurushate Charanarvindam And so this verse, of course there are many aspects, whatever we are discussing, many aspects of the Lord are glorified, of His lotus feet are glorified. We worship the lotus feet, which are the true object of meditation, which remove all kind of miseries, paribhavaghanam. And third is abhishtadoham. Abhishtadoham means, Prabhupada translates, or the disciple of Prabhupada translated as, they freely award the greatest desire of the soul. They freely award the greatest desire of the soul, which is the attainment of pure love of Godhead. So in this way, the Lord's lotus feet are described as desire tree. So whatever desire we may have, we should approach the lotus feet of the Lord. And we already discussed your desire to hear, chant, glorify, serve Him. This is the highest intelligence. We should approach the Lord lotus feet with that desire only. So the sixth quality of the Lord's lotus feet is that they are place of pilgrimage. Place of pilgrimage. Vidura describes Vartam Sakhe Kirtaya Tirtha Kirte. So, O my friend, please therefore chant the glories of the Lord, who is meant to be glorified in the places of pilgrimage. It is one of the name of the Lord itself is Tirtha or Tirtha Pada. At his lotus feet, all the pilgrimage places exist. In fact, Lord Chaitanya, when he traveled to Gaya, place of pilgrimage, seeing the lotus feet of the Lord, what makes the place of pilgrimage holy? It is the touch of the lotus feet of the Lord. So, when Lord Chaitanya went to Gaya, he saw the lotus feet of the Lord and he manifested great devotion over there. So Chaitanya Bhagavan describes, on seeing the lotus feet of the Lord in the place of pilgrimage, Lord Chaitanya began glorifying, or he heard the glorification of the Lord's lotus feet from the Brahmanas who were singing the glorification. Kashinath hridaye dhari laye charan, ye charana nirvadhi lakshmi rajivan. So Kashinath holds the lotus feet of the Lord on his head and in his heart. And these lotus feet, ye charan nirvati lakshmi rajivan, and they are the life and soul of Lakshmi ji. Bali shire avirbhav bhaila ye charan, sei ei dekh yat bhagyavant jan. These lotus feet, were placed on the head of Bali Maharaj. He held Lord lotus feet on his head. Therefore, fortunate souls, see these lotus feet of the Lord. Yogeshwara sabara durlava ye charan, sei ei dekh yat bhagyavant jan. These lotus feet of the Lord are very rare. Yogeshwar, the great yogis, Padhastuko Nishadavasara Sampragamyo, Vayu Gathavam Manaso Vinipungavana. So the great yogis, the great munis, even for millions of years, they are not able to, have the lotus of the Lord established in their heart. So therefore they are so rare. And here you can see the lotus feet of the Lord. Here you can see the lotus feet of the Lord. These lotus feet are extremely, extremely rare. So they are place of pilgrimage. Place of pilgrimage. So we should know that wherever there are deities of the Lord, the lotus feet have been established, all those places are tirthas. Serving his lotus feet is actually also visiting the tirthas. So that's the place of pilgrimage. And the seventh quality of the Lord's lotus feet is highest protection. The word protection. We'll recite 1519. 1519. Navay jano jat kathan chadam rajen. Navay jano jat kathan Mukunda sevyan nevadanga samsritim. Smaran mukundam gripaguhanam punar. Vihatum ichhe narasakraho jana. So what is this protection? That one who comes to Krishna's lotus feet once and sincerely takes shelter. One who has served the lotus feet of the Lord even once with sincere desire. That person will not undergo material existence like karmis and others. Will never undergo material existence. He will remember the taste of serving lotus feet again and again, and he will come back to devotional service. There are so many examples we have. I'm not going to elaborating all those examples. But the lotus feet of the Lord are a supreme protection. Anyone who has sincerely served, that person will be protected for the rest of eternity. Can you imagine? So once this devotional service can be compared to like a vaccine. You take one shot and it will be for eternity. No need of repeated dose. One shot and you are given protection from samsara that will, person will never undergo material existence like others. He is sure to return back to Lord Lotus feet. So that is the vaccination or bhakti vaccination. It has such assurance, such hope. Therefore, the Lord Lotus feet are a supreme protection for the devotee. There are so many verses in Bhagavatam which glorifies that a devotee will never be lost. One who takes shelter even once sincerely, that person will come back to devotional service again. So therefore, protection, all protection is guaranteed by the Lotus feet of the Lord. Again, Chaitanya Bhagavatam describes beautifully, Tilardha kaya charana dhyana kaile matra yamatarna haena vadikaram patra. One who remembers the Lotus feet of the Lord, Tilardha, that means for a fraction of a second. One who just remembers the Lotus feet of the Lord, dhyana kaile matra. And Yamaraj, that person will never see Yamaraj, even in one's dreams. So Yamaraj will permanently delete that person's name from his account. That file, his system will go corrupt as far as that person is concerned. So that is the protection guaranteed by taking shelter of, or just by remembering the Lotus feet of the Lord once. And the Lotus feet of the Lord are the highest fortune. The highest fortune. So that is described in the very first verse of Gopi Gita. So, what is that? No, Tavakatam becomes 9th verse. Jayati Dedikam Janmana Vraja. So, since your Lotus feet has appeared in Vraja, there is all good fortune. In fact, the God of the fortune never leaves Vraja. We'll just recite that verse, first verse of Gopi Gita. Then open. Jayati Dedikam 10:31:1. 10:31:1. Jayati Dedikam Janmana Vraja Shayata Indira Shashvadatrahi Daita Krishyata Dikshvata Vaidrita Sama Tvam Vichinvate. So, the goddess of fortune, she considers the Lotus feet of the Lord as her fortune. Therefore, wherever there is hearing, chanting, glorification of the Lotus feet of the Lord, the goddess of fortune is always there. So, and supreme fortune resides there at the Lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. So, we'll end today's session with this beautiful verse, and Prabhupada says in conclusion that this is in purport to 1:11:26. Prabhupada says, the Lord's chest is the abode of the goddess of fortune. His moon-like face is the drinking vessel for eyes which hanker after all that is beautiful. His arms are the resting place for the administrative demigods, and his lotus feet are the refuge of pure devotees, who never talk or sing of any subject except his lordships. Sharanga Nam Padambujam. So devotees are described as Sharanga Nam, essence seekers. And for them, the lotus feet of the Lord are the only refuge. And Prabhupada says, the pure devotees are always hankering after the lotus feet of the Lord, which have a kind of honey, which is transcendently relished by the devotees. They are like the bees who are always after the honey. Rupa Goswami, the great Acharya of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, has sung a song about this lotus honey. What is that? Rupa Goswami's song. It is described the lotus sweet Lord honey. Huh? No. The other one. The song where he glorifies Madhukar, where he describes him as Madhukar. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Mama Manas Madhukar Arpaya Nijapad Mama Manas Madhukar Arpaya Nijapad Pankaja Vakarande. Right. So therefore Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande is the song Prabhupada referring in this purport. So the devotees are satisfied with being placed at the lotus feet of the Lord and have no ambition to see His all-beautiful face or aspire for the protection of the strong arms of the Lord. They are humble by nature and the Lord is always leaning towards such humble devotees. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Ya Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Janmashtami Mahamahottam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Bhakti Premanand. Hare Krishna. Already exceeded the time. Apologize for that. So we will not have question answers. All questions are answered at the lotus feet of the Lord. And we are remembering the lotus feet.